Welcome everyone. My name's Clive Woodbridge. I'm the editor of the Maritime Standard and I'll be hosting a couple of the sessions today.
Today's theme is a net zero tanker shipping setting the global decarbonization agenda. Is one that holds great significance in today's maritime landscape. Importantly, the timing of today's meeting, a few weeks just before world leaders, CEOs, and climate change champions convene in the UAE for COP28, presents a great nexus of ambitions and actions. And when it comes to taking responsibility for tackling climate change, no one is exempt. We all are accountable for setting and achieving ESG targets and linking sustainability to progress.
I just want to ask those who actually order ships and go to the shipyards. When you go to a shipyard, you ask them for the old technology or the new technology. I guess you'll go for the latest technology. But then 2 years later, when you get your ship, that latest technology becomes an old technology, and there it starts again.
As far as green shipping is concerned, we're already for quite some years member of the Green Award and the environmental ship index programs, giving sustainable vessels, green vessels, clean vessels an incentive on the port use, rebate on the port use. It's our way to incentivize cleaner shipping. We started using biodiesel in our own tugs. We are hopeful that Total and OQ will still this year take the final investment decision to invest in a liquefied natural gas plant, LNG plant, not only for export but also for bunkering. And next to that, we will introduce digitalization into this bunkering process to make the bunkering process transparent.
However, we have made a couple of major initiatives that set standards for global port operators, like the fully automated terminal Box Bay in Jebel Ali. And in DP World Peru, we are running a fully electrical facilities. DP World Chile, we secured the first renewable electric energy certification for port operator in South America.
I'd like to refer to a recent report that Lloyd's Register published back in September this year that explored 25 fuel mix projections. The report was called The Future of Maritime Fuels. Now, broadly within this report, there are two conclusions in terms of two pathways that will be generated going forward. The first of those pathways is a bio pathway. And by bio pathway, we mean biodiesel, liquefied biomethane, biomethanol. And this will emerge as having significant adoption within the maritime industry. In fact, liquefied biomethane potentially accounting for 34% market share from a fuel selection perspective by 2050. The second scenario was a scenario based around a hydrogen fuel-based scenario. Now, it's important to add here that this is hydrogen as a fuel stock for ammonia generation and ammonia burning, but equally hydrogen for propulsion as well itself. So under that hydrogen fuel-based scenario, with e-ammonia emerging as the most widely adopted maritime fuel, e-ammonia would account for 35% by 2050. So the report there with those percentages concludes that there will be no one dominant fuel. In fact, no one fuel achieves over 50% adoption. And despite the recent trends that we've seen with the methanol uptake and the methanol ordering, by 2050, methanol as a maritime transportation fuel only achieves an 8% adoption in the energy transition. So this brings me back to Shakespeare and back to the focus of this presentation, to retrofit or replace.
There will be a series of vessels where these 3-4 types of engines will be there in the operations, and these 3-4 types of fuels will be indefinitely in operation. This will be against what we are currently using since decades, only one fuel, that is a conventional fuel. Now on this, more the fuels, more the challenges. We do not have the technology, we do not have much experience within the industry for these new fuels. And this will definitely increase the number of accidents during operations on board. And already there is a study, and nearly 750,000 number of seafarers need to be retrained.
As the old adage goes, you'll never make money in shipping by overpaying when you buy ships. We believe in investing in mid-age assets and repairing and extending the life of ships, which frankly is much more environmentally friendly and sustainable than ordering new buildings. There are 3 simple ways shipping can become more energy efficient and sustainable. This is through the 3 C's and the 3 R's. We can consume less, we can consume better, and through systematic change. And the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. That's why we invest in mid-age ships.
Recently, the Prime Minister announced the Maritime Vision for 2047, and the major themes I would just touch upon are to lead the world in safe, sustainable and green maritime sector, where 14 ports will be carbon neutral and they will act as hydrogen and ammonia hubs. In fact, in the conference in which he released this report, about $100 billion were committed towards green energy on the ports.
One typical question is, how can we make decisions in the current landscape? Well, first of all, it's about making a fuel strategy that is fit for purpose for your vessels, for your fleet. It's about considering if going for monofuel, going for dual fuel with maybe methanol, with ammonia, LNG, and then have a look into how that strategy fits into the carbon intensity trajectories and the requirements that will come over time for that.
Now, this is just to show the business case, where this was based on 100 vessels with a roughly 60% utilization, where vessels are assumed to be doing 220 days in a year, which adds up to almost 20,000 metric tons saving, which in fuel, which brings down the carbon footprint by a staggering 61,000 metric tons of CO2, and would have a positive impact on the bottom line of 18 million.
As I said, there are so many engine oils available in the market because we have to come up with a solution for the changing fuels, changing design and everything. But we have to make sure we use the right cylinder oil.
If you do want to purchase the vessel, it's the future-proofing when the IT system's staying robust and to assist the potential purchaser to understand what an asset is bought, and cost efficiency, because we do work very closely with our clients on the budget planning and can prevent unexpected costs down the line.
So if we can work on that frictional resistance, we can work on the specific drag reduction. The higher the drag reduction we can achieve, the lesser friction would be, lesser fuel consumed, and lesser fuel consumed means lesser carbon dioxide emitted. 1 ton of fuel gives 3 tons of carbon dioxide, and if you multiply with that with the EU ETS, which is volatile, $80 to $120, so it's a lot of money which comes into the play.
I just want to touch on the issues of I guess CSR and ESG. We do see increasing pushes to, and as we discussed today, on the importance of ESG and how that develops. That's something which is ongoing. I think the challenge that we have found from our perspective is the limitation or the limited amount at the moment of hard legal obligations which have to come through. I think those are being negotiated but not really implemented in a really clear way for a lot of our clients to understand how best to make decisions, economic decisions for the future.
I think the markets, tankers, we're enjoying a good time, but again, those good times have to stay. As a rough rule of thumb, this doesn't matter what size ship or anything. If you work on an average of $500 per day earnings for 20 years per million, so if you buy a ship for 50 million, you need $25,000 a day for 20 years. to basically make that an economic viability?
What is very relevant, of course, for tankers, and I would like to focus here, is fuel conversions, and I will go more into this platform of ours, which we call Fit for Fuels. As I mentioned, it's LNG, methanol, and ammonia. They will be commercially available, meaning that the technology will be available for on-vessel conversions, LNG and methanol in 2024, and ammonia in 2025. The key thing about this technology is a new combustion concept which we developed, which is if you will, a hybrid combustion process between the non-auto and the diesel, or the pre-mixed and diffusive combustion, and allows us to adapt let's say, to always find the sweet spot between fuel consumption, emissions, and fuel slip along the engine's power curve, which of course eliminates fuel slip for these fuels, which is important for all of them.
We are moving towards a future where tank storage terminals operate with precision, tankers transit with optimum efficiency, and the entire sector adapts dynamically to the changing market. Investing in AI is an investment in our continued relevance, capability, and leadership.
Takeaways are, owners and those involved in this must involve the seafarers in tool selection and design. They must focus on the user-friendliness and comprehensive testing before implementation. They should ensure provision of ongoing training that blends digital and traditional skills so neither are lost and those are enhanced.
So, what are the types of anti-fouling paints available? Essentially 3. Let's look at each of them. A standard conventional fouling, anti-fouling paint, the self-polishing anti-fouling paint. Fit for purpose, class approved, no problem. But if you want to get savings, you want to save fuel and save CO2 emissions, and there are premium anti-fouling paints. Furthermore, there are ultra-premium anti-fouling paints, and silicone-based coatings is one of them. Of course, 1, 2, 3, price increases, but so does the smoothness, so does the performance.
Dubai is obviously a hub. This time of the year especially, it's special. But I think everyone congregates here, and anyone wanted to come to this conference. I can tell you again from first-hand experience, I've been here for the last 6-7 years, and the value of knowledge I've got personally has been phenomenal.
This conference was really an eye-opener in the sense how much the tanker industry progressed in terms of digitalization. It was a fantastic event, great networking, a lot of insightful presentations. I'm really grateful for an opportunity to be here.
I found the conference very, very, very interesting. As you know, the topic of today in the maritime industry is decarbonization, it is sustainability, and I believe this conference is covering it very, very, very well. It's very rare to find a forum where you have so many key stakeholders attending. Main benefit is, number 1, you get updated with all the latest information in the industry. Number 2, you get a networking platform, you get to know a lot of new people. You get so basically, you go home with lots of new contacts, you get home with lots of new knowledge.